Okay, everyone, welcome to the Friday webinar, Simple Strategies to Build Big. This is the second part. What we are doing is learning about what John and I were taught. This is a very unique approach. The individual that mentored us has made the most money in all of direct sales, so I think we all can put on a teaching, coaching hat and be receiving information. You might think you have the idea of how to build your success, but I need to ask you a couple of polling questions. And let's, just to see the audience that we have, let's pick up the first polling question, Trish, before we get started. And I want everybody to be looking at their screen. Trish is bringing up a question for us all to ask, so I really get a feel for what I have going. Trish, are you bringing up the polling questions?
Yep, we're at 9% voted, 12%, 15%. It's going up.
Okay, in my present career, I currently make quickly, everyone. Everybody let us know where they're at.
We're at 62%.
All right, when you get to 75, go ahead and close it because we don't wait for people that don't take action. We are a group of action-oriented people.
All right, we quickly went to 80, so I'm closing it now.
All right, great. And the answers?
Here. 71% answers.
In my present career, I currently make, so 71% in their present career are making under $50,000 a year, and about 30% are 50 and over. Okay. Next question.
I'll tell you when we're at 75.
This is private as well. I don't see the...
there you go.
There you go. All right, so I would like to make, 7% would like to make 25,000, 10%, and 83% want to make 75,000 or plus. 83%. All right, so we're go to the next question.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, there's probably some folks who are still trying to dial in. We've reached our max number. We've maxed out on the call. So congratulations to everybody there. And if you can hear us on the speaker line, then feel free to continue on the speaker line, but you will not be able to get to the webinar. Run the next poll,
Trish. I need the most growth in the following area. This is going to help me know what you need as far on the webinars. Okay. All right. Awesome, everyone. Let's go into the actual training now that I know. First of all, I see that the 70% of the people on the phone right now are making $70,000 under 50. 70% are making under $50,000 a year. Yet 83% of the people want to make $75,000 or more in Legal Shield. So the reality is, and this is where my Success Habits book comes in, you are going to have to really be on these Friday webinars on a weekly basis to learn how to think different. And when you learn how to think different and believe different, you will actually do different. But what you think like today is what you do. So your thinking must change for your doing to change. And that's the whole purpose of the Friday webinars. It isn't something, if you've been making $25,000 to $50,000 for the last 10 years, 20 years, whatever, and you say, wow, I want to get into Legal Shield because Legal Shield is going to make me $75,000 or more, that is not true. That is not true. Okay, Legal Shield could have a timing opportunity, a financial opportunity, a mission opportunity for you, but if you do not think right, you will not do right. So that is really the bottom line of what I work more on your mindset, so you have a millionaire mindset, than I do anything else. So that what follows are the right habits. If you get the root and the inner man, you might say, your inner picture of who you are and what you're meant to do, if you get that right, the rest will fall into place. And what you hear all over the place in Legal Shield land is probably do this, do this, do this, make your list, do this, do this, do this. And so we talk a little bit differently to help you succeed and get to a different level on the core, the inner man talking to you, your inner thoughts talking to you. And so the second question was, what do you want to make? Okay, so your present income 70% or under 50, Legal Shield 83% want to make more than 75. The selling, 10% are just selling, 0 we're just building a team, and 71% we're doing both, so that's good. That's a little bit about what we learned last week. And as far as what you need the help in is in recruiting and coaching. The highest need was coaching people into production. So we're going to, I'm glad I have that information. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about some of the issues on the coaching and the production. Leading a team and doing the numbers is next week. Okay, so let's get started for this week. There we go. Last week, review, selling versus team building. I want you to look at this screen a little bit. I made a few other comments to make sure we understood what we talked about last week. We have on the left, we have sellers only, people who think that I'm going to sell. And this means small business, this means group, this means consumer folders, that you're going out, you're making a presentation, and your thinking is, I'm in the selling business, which is true because you are going to protect the family. So we present, we prioritize, we protect, then we prosper. So when we present and then we protect the family, that's where income comes in. And we're not going to make money unless a membership is moved into the marketplace and a family is protected. So we need to be a seller. But do we sell only? The mindset of this person here is that they present and they sell, and they're not even thinking about expanding their business. So they're losing thousands and thousands of dollars on the potential growth into a marketplace because their mindset is really present and protect the family, which is great. It's good but not great, I should say. It's good, not great. All right, so then let's flip to the other side, team builders mentality. Well, there was a individual that's no longer with the company. Thank you, I'm so happy. But all he taught was recruit, 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 recruit. And so this person would take, what would happen for those individuals is they'd present to 40 people just the opportunity. They didn't even care about the product. It was just go out there and recruit and tell them about the business and then have them go out and recruit and tell people about the business and have them. And so what happened, let's say you presented to 40 and 6 people saw the business, that would be 26 sales lost or $2,600 at the $100 per sale level. Okay, so that's just associate level. So it's probably way higher because obviously after 5 sales you move up and you can move up after 30. So and you can be building an example of at the associate level you're losing $2,600. So our mentor was in the middle. This is the mentality that we have. This is what I understand to be the #1 income earner, indirect sales. says present to the 40 people you care about, and out of those 40 people, some are going to say, this is the greatest service ever. And in his case, 32 people said yes to the product. And this is his actual first 2 weeks, okay? A picture of his first 2 weeks. This is the picture we got. This is the picture we duplicated. And so then he, out of the 32 people, also did the R3. You know, we're looking to expand in the marketplace. This is the potential. This is, you know, money you can make. This is the timing we have. This is the mission we're on. And the people go, whoa, I want to be part of that as well. So he also recruited 6. So he did the both. So that was a good answer on the fact that 71% of you are doing both. So we're going to kind of go through. I've been talking in the marketplace and finding out there's a little bit of a how do you go from being a seller mentality over to, and basically it's the R3 training, over to building a team, because every presentation, satisfied customer can turn into an ally. Think of that satisfied customer as an ally that can help you expand your business. And you want that ally, and then let's talk about that. What does that ally do for you that after you presented, they become a satisfied customer? Can I see the screen? They become a satisfied customer, and then this is the money that's inside of a satisfied customer. Again, we looked at this last week. The little gray guy is the person you just presented to. The little gray guy did not want to do your business. So he's just a satisfied customer. And a lot of people think, no big deal. Making that presentation, going out there and reaching somebody, teaching somebody about the value of our business, not a big deal, not worth my time. Well, I'd say in this little picture of this satisfied customer, this ally, this bridge to opportunity, because you did him right. You did a very simple 15-minute presentation. It was easy. It was simple. He valued you. You respected him, his time. He was, based on your experience with him, he was like, yes, I would like to recommend you. I would like to help you because you served him. And so this is the kind of financial outlook of that one individual and what it can turn into, even if they don't want to do the business. So don't think that they have to become an associate to turn you on to companies and small businesses and new potential associates. They do not have to be in your business, but you have to understand that first step of engaging, serving them and their needs, protecting their family, protecting their business, and then moving towards the actual recommendations from that individual. And they will recommend based on how you treat them, and we're going to kind of go through that. We also looked at what to look for in a recruit. You know, I just want to make a few comments on this. Okay. Can you hear it there? So the willingness to work. Let's say you had somebody sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they were not liking their industry anymore, and so they wanted to do the business with you, but you don't have 1 and 2 or 3. These 1, 2, and 3 things: willingness to work, burning desire to succeed, and teachable. So I may be sick and tired, but not sick and tired enough. Because let's say I'm sick and tired, but I'm not willing to work. I'm not willing to follow the system of ShieldNation. I'm not willing, I don't have that passion to really help and protect the family. I don't really care. I just thought I want to make money, but I don't have that willingness to do the numbers, which is next week. We're going to talk about that, how to lead a team and to do the numbers. And then burning desire to succeed. They're not teachable. They kind of go off in this and go off in that and do this and do that, and they're not following the franchise. So let's say it's a person that wants to own a McDonald's, but they want to put sriracha on the Big Mac because they like sriracha, or maybe horseradish or something like that. And you just can't do that. You don't do that. That's not the plan. That's not the system. And I want to say to you, when you are recruiting, I want you to look around everyone in the United States and you want to think, do I know an insurance agent? Do I know a teacher? Do I know a coach? Do I know a factory worker? Do I know a small business owner that is doing well? Do I know a pharmaceutical rep, Katie Huff? You can go, do I know a federal government, Teresa Wright Johnson? Do I know somebody in GE, that's Bob Cohen? You know all these different people in corporate America. And did they succeed in Legal Shield? When you meet that person like a GE person, a government employee person, a police officer, because I know police officers that are doing very well, you can say to them with confidence, someone just like you is doing very well, you spit out that story, share that story to get that engagement, that commonality, you might say, and then you're looking at these 7 qualities to see if they're a fit. Because if I start spending time with somebody and they're not teachable, they're not burning desire to see, they're not passionate, they're not sick and tired of being sick and tired, they got to really be sick and tired, or not dissatisfied, or they're not the best at what they do, they're lazy, sloppy, cut corners, those kind of people, I'm not interested. I am not interested in them. Yes, indeed. That's the point I want you to get to in recruiting, that you get to choose, but not when you're talking to 3 people a month, not when you're talking to 3 people a week. But when you're talking to 5 to 10 people a day, you're kind of engaging, you're out there, you're understanding that you're in the sorting, not convincing business, and you're looking for the right people that you want. I would add to this list, this is your homework on last week, add to the list, who are you? Who do you want? What is your mission statement? And what is the personality? Did I miss anything in the 7 points? This is what our mentor goes by. But is there anything absolutely specific for you? Because whatever you truly are, whoever you really believe in as far as what you want to do on this earth, then put that extra quality in there and attract that to your business, and you will explode. So don't try to fit something in your business that's not a match for you, because then you'll notice that young people recruit young people, and professional salespeople recruit professional salespeople. It seems like it's a mirror of who they really are. So look at yourself and say, well, who do I attract? And then go out there and find them. So yeah, the quote I came up with, because after seeing people our first 3 years in the business, I was like, recruiting was so fun and so easy and so natural. And I'm like, what is going on out there? And so I developed a quote, and the quote is, you're not looking to make this business right for everyone, but you are looking for everyone that is right for this business. I'll say it again. You're not looking to make this business right for everyone, but you are looking for everyone with a capital E that is right for this business. So I knew that my motivation, my mindset when I go out there recruiting is to not look to make it right. I'm not shoving a square peg in a round hole and pushing at that person. And I'm really on the completely different strategy and mindset, is that I'm discovering them. I'm finding out. I'm asking a lot of questions about who they are, what they're looking for, what makes them happy, what makes them passionate in life, what are the things that bother them. Are they bothered by injustice? Are they bothered by people being mistreated? Are they bothered by the lack of peace in today's world? If they are, and they see other people, and that's a passion to help people in that area, our product's perfect for them. So I'm asking a lot of questions. Are they dissatisfied? Are they willing to work? Do they have a burning desire to succeed? So next to these questions, I want you to go 1 through 7. You see the qualities. What question would you ask someone to find out if they are willing to work? What question would you ask to find out if they have a burning desire to succeed? So think about that in looking for recruits. What questions reveal whether or not they are a good recruit and have these qualities? So you're in control of your world. You're in control of who you attract by the questions you ask that open up the reality of the person you're talking to and whether they're a fit. Because we don't want to try to make it work for them. We want to see if it's a fit for them. And if it is, then you've won, they've won, we're all winning, we move forward together. That's a blast of a way to build a business. All right, so now here's this week's webinar, 3 principles to live by. And they're kind of review, but this is the $80 million man, and this is the core. It's about their needs, not yours, number 1. We must add value to their life, massive value. So if you're always thinking, how can I add value to this business account, to this broker, to this individual stay-at-home mom, to this part-time person that's working another job, how can I add value to their lives with the product and through their lives with the business, or through their lives with the product line in their business, whether it be an insurance agency, broker. And you'll notice when I talk about our mentor, he applies to every vehicle of success in Legal Shield. You don't have to go, well, I'm in this side of the business or that side of the business or whatever. You live why. It's not about their needs. It's about their needs, not yours. Whether it's a company account or it's a family that you're at, or whether you're at a recruiting appointment, I'm learning about their needs not mine. So my why about why I did the business is not relevant. I'm learning their why, what makes life important for them, and I'm structuring my presentation around their interest level about why they would want extra money or why they would want to leave their job or why they would like a business opportunity. So I'm listening, I'm asking questions to learn about their needs, not mine. Now, once I learn their needs, then I reflect back a lot of testimonials that are relative to what they do and what they're looking for. And my testimonial might not even be one I use because it's not relative if it's not what they're looking for. So if they're I'm a small business owner, but my background, but what if they're a corporate employee? I'm going to use other people. I'm going to use Mr. Cohen's and other people out there that have had that experience of being free and talk about their testimonials. I don't need to use mine. I mean, I can definitely use mine on the product, but not in the business. So that's these three principles. Live by this. This is the core, the foundation. And if you're not having the income you want, you got to look at this foundation. Build it on the rock. All right? The next slide, how to be fearless. Okay, now we're going out recruiting. Okay, fearless. And I talked to you last week. We're going to talk about fear. I value your opinion. I'm a young guy. He started when he was 24 years old. No fear of rejection when you ask for help. You must sincerely honor them and value their help. So when you are wanting to ask for help, but you're kind of doing it as a equation, and you're spitting out this like, oh, I'm asking for help, and I'm really manipulative, and I'm really trying to get you in my business. And your core of your true emotional sincerity isn't about helping them. It's about getting them. All right, and it's not about discovering them. It's about manipulating them to want what you have. And it's kind of it's a fine line, but it's a major difference between success and failure in this business. So that when you really, truly, in your inner motive, I love this biblical scripture that says, you have not because you ask not. So the first thing is you're not even asking people. You're not even walking up. You're not engaging. You're not asking them for what they do. If they're interested in a product like ours or a business like ours, you're not even asking. The second thing is you don't succeed in life. You have not the goals you want because you ask with wrong motives. So that's the big one. So you either don't ask or you ask with wrong motives. So the fearless person, the key to have no fear of rejection is to know that your integrity, your inner motive is sincerely going out there. You're looking for their needs because you know you have something. I know that I have something. I know that I have something that has upfront cash for the sale, residual income, and leverage income. I have 3 ways to make money, plus the car, plus the trip. It is unbelievable, that associate compensation form that shows the 5 ways to benefits of marketing our product. So literally you have the upfront advance commission, you've got the leverage income, you got the residual. Who gets that? Nobody has that. I know when I'm out there that I've got something they don't have. I am sincerely understanding I've got to find the people that are looking for what we have, because if they're frustrated in life because they've beaten their head out and they're not making that income and they're not getting their residual and they're working so hard in real estate or those kind of car sales or anything that you're just it's a linear sale, linear rate, those kind of things, and it's not exponential opportunity, you never can get out of your hole. You just got to keep working, keep doing that next day, doing the next account. That is something when I have no fear of rejection because I know what I can offer them. I know what I have, and my motive is right because I can give them something they're looking for. If they're looking for it, if they want a business, if they have a desire to succeed, if they're willing to work, if they're teachable, so then it's a fit. Otherwise, it's not a fit. So that's the fearless part. I'm out there discovering, meeting people, discovering. Oh, you look like somebody that would be a fit. And then I go further in the presentation to see if what we have, because I think it might be a fit, and I don't know, it might not be a fit. And then if it's not a fit, protect their family, get the referrals, and on I go, because they might know somebody else that it's a fit. So it's really not a pushy experience. All right, so honor them, value their help itself, but those 4 questions right there, that's how you should think: who we love, can serve, we can help, and care about. That's the perspective of the top prospect sheet that you're putting down. That's why we're going out there to the marketplace, is because we love them, we want to serve them, we want to help them, we care about them. And number 5, share your passion, because your passion is real. It's the real thing. Nobody can take that away from you. And when they hear your passion, they know it's coming from an emotional sincerity, that you're truly sincere about what you're doing, and that's how you get trust. So that's the recipe for fearlessness. All right, here's his actual quote. I'm reading their needs, not yours. This is literally what he said. If I am truly coming from a servant's heart, I am here to help them. I am out of the equation. I am out of the equation. It doesn't matter if they don't want my service or business. I just want them to know. And that's what we really talk about. Do they know about the business? Do the people think about the people that you care about right now? Has everyone heard about the service? Does everyone have the opportunity to say yes or no to your service? Because you presented to them, let them know about it. You're sincerely passionate that they know about it. You can call them up and say, I feel uncomfortable calling you. I want to make sure you're not thinking I'm selling you, but I really want you to see what I'm doing, because it's a service that people love. They don't really know it exists, but once they see it, they love it, and I want your family to know about this, or your business to know about this. And if it's not a fit for you, that's fine, no problem, but at least I can know that I've done my job in helping you to know about it. All right, so there's your mission. All right, here's the reality check. Do you worry more about you getting a no or them getting to know? All right, so John, do you worry more about you getting a no or them getting to know? And so this is something you have to take a reality check. When you're thinking about making that call, you're thinking about going to that person, whether it's sharing the business, the group, a broker, an individual family, it doesn't matter. These principles work for everyone on this phone. Do you worry more about you getting to know? Oh my gosh, what if they don't want our benefit? What if they don't want our business? What if they don't want this service for their family? Okay, you are thinking in your decision making about picking up that phone or talking to that friend or that family member, that person in business, that associate, that peer that you have. You're thinking about you getting to know. You're whirling around in your brain, they might not want this. So what? That's not what you need to think about. You need to think about, do they know about it? So my job is to let them know about it. And then when you have that as your motive, that they know about it, there's zero fear of rejection, because you want them to know about it. And when you're ready, and if they're not like having any connection, like I had a friend in my Bible study, 2 years, no connection whatsoever. I went over the product. She had a husband in real estate. He had all these tenants and had all these problems. And I'm like, oh my gosh, our service can help him. He's a small business owner. Oh no, he likes to evict people and go to court and do this and do that himself. He likes to be hands-on, and I'm like, I don't think so. But 2 years, I'm like riding with her different conventions and stuff, and we're doing all this Christian stuff, and she's in the car, but no bite, zero interest. I sit down with him at this other event, and he happened to be at this lunch thing we were at, and he says, so what do you do? And I tell him in 30 seconds, he's in the business and a member. So here's an associate member in 30 seconds after 2 years with a wife that did not have an interest whatsoever. Now, 10 years later, they're a customer that comes up to Brielle and I at a wedding saying, this is the best product ever. I can't even believe it. And the wife's like, oh, this is the best product ever. This is the best product. You guys should charge thousands and thousands of dollars a year, they told us at the wedding, because it's so great and it provides such a great service. So here's 2 years of a no by somebody that didn't get it. All right, but the husband, so if you have a no by a wife or a husband, you might want to, or a wife especially, you might want to get to the husband and they might see it. So you might have, a situation like I had. So really letting both spouses know is really our ultimate goal. All right, so we talk about presentations 1 a day or 5 every weekend. If we just had that simple goal to reach one, teach one on a daily basis, that would make a difference. That's a foundation. Do the R3 with each one of the presentations. We talked about Shield Team 10, that would produce 20 presentations, 50% close, 10 sales a month. You literally can be ED with 5 people yourself, 4, I guess, before people. So platinum, if you're doing 10 a month by doing one presentation a day, if that can be your basic goal, and you're teaching people to do the same. So here's your motto for the week: reach one, teach one. So if every day you reach one, teach one, that's going to be our new thing. We want to reach one what? Account, a business account. Reach one family, reach one individual. Teach one about the service, teach one about the employee benefit, teach one about the opportunity. It doesn't matter. Reach one, teach one is multi-divisional. You can go through any division and use the same philosophy. So whatever your sphere of influence is, reach one and teach one. Teach one about all the different ways that we can serve them. All right, and apply it to the person you're in front of. If it's a broker, you're going to reach one, teach one about the opportunity for brokers. If it's a family, reach one, teach one about the benefit we have for families and identity theft and legal care and peace of mind and prosperity and protection. So you're going to teach them about that. So this is this is the thing I want you to say inside your head. I'm going to reach one, teach one daily. Reach one, teach one daily. All right, and so let's open it up to sharing time. Brielle, you're on the phone. I believe I'm going to call on you. Are you on the line still?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's go back to in sharing. Let's go back to the fear, how to be fearless. Because you were definitely somebody who had a fear problem. So, and I want to specifically talk to you about when you first built your business, you were definitely good with the Reach One, Teach One on the consumer folder. So you went out there and you had a mindset that everybody needed service, but you did not have a recruiting mindset. You were afraid to talk to somebody. You had ideas inside your head that you had to be successful in order to talk to someone, but you had fear about, is that your phone, Brielle, that's making all the noise?
No, that's someone else.
Fear. All right, so can you share, I value your opinion, that how you got over your fear of rejection, what your attitude was about how to be fearless, about, you made a mind shift about 3 to 4 months in, and then you really didn't do a lot of recruiting because it wasn't fitting for you, and then I had to work on the way you think about what you're really doing when you're asking people to join your business. And even if you're on Brielle's team, you can also share the way she approached recruiting and how it attracted you. So I know Glenn's on the phone, maybe Laura's on the phone, so we could also go the other side. So Brielle, start with, what was the mind shift you had?
Well, awesome webinar so far, and thanks for calling on me. I think that everything's changed when I realized that the fear came from a root of seeking people's opinion and approval. And the fact that, I've seen firsthand how this services business works should be enough for me to know that I don't need anyone's approval or opinion because I know it works. But for some reason, I think just starting my business, I was a little bit, just new, a little bit insecure. There's a lot of new stuff, and so I was wanting people's opinion and approval. And then all of a sudden, I was like, you know what? Forget that, because it was miserable. And that's when I kind of shifted the whole mindset to the whole mission perspective and said, you know what? It's not my job. I started to realize what my job was. My job was not to convince some of the service, to convince them to join the business, to persuade them. My job was to educate and serve, like I've talked about multiple times. And my job was not to buy into their opinion. My dad is, both you and Dad have taught us that ever since we were little girls, is don't let someone's opinion of you become your reality. Buying into someone else's opinion, especially when oftentimes they're struggling and broke and frustrated and, just not liking their career path. And so, anyway, when I stopped looking for people's opinion and caring what they thought, it changed everything. And I can tell you this, the people who gave maybe a negative opinion or had just, maybe weren't positive initially when I introduced them to the service, the business, are most likely now members because they've seen my success, they've seen my persistency, and they've seen my belief, and the fact that it hasn't wavered with the ups and downs of this business, that I stayed consistent. So I think that's been a huge, huge thing for me is just not buying into the opinions of this world, and that goes for everything in life. So.
Hey, Brielle, fantastic. That's great stuff. Yeah, we're here. If Laura Barker could dial in via the access code and PIN code, we'd like to certainly hear from one of our newest executive directors and, just have her share her story a little bit. If you have a question, a comment, or kind of an aha moment here, just go to your dashboard and click the raise your hand part so that we can go to you and have you share anything that you'd like to share or ask any questions you'd like to ask. What's that? Hold on a second.
Glenn Spidell, are you out there? Can you take yourself off mute?
Hear me now?
Hi, Glenn. Can you share what it was like to be recruited by Brielle?
Well, actually, I was recruited by Jill, but
okay.
I can give you my impression, my first impression of Brielle. Jill had told me about her. So I knew that she was out there somewhere, and I knew that she was somebody special because of the way that Jill told me about her. But I remember when I first met her, it was at a chamber event. She was a chamber ambassador, and she saw my name tag and said, "Hey, Glenn," and that's when I met her, and we had a quick interaction. And I could tell very quickly that she was the kind of person that I wanted to be around. And we had opportunity to talk later, and I could tell she was a person of character, as Jill was, and that was very attractive to me because I've seen so many salespeople through the years that are manipulative, and these people were sincere. Jill and Brielle were sincere. They had something to share they believed in, and they believed I could benefit from it, and I believed that, and so it was a door opener for me to explore the product and explore the opportunity.
Okay, so you basically summarized the whole webinar in just that statement, Glenn. Thank you so much, because number one, when Jill was having Glenn to meet Jill's team leader, Brielle Hoffman, Jill edified her. So there's the first key that Glenn went into. So Jill spoke very highly of her team leader, which is Brielle Hoffman. And so when Glenn was already in his mind excited to meet this person. So that's when you're setting up a three-way call or a meeting. You need to learn how to really speak about the strengths of that team leader of yours. And then when Jill and Brielle spoke with Glenn, first of all, Brielle saw his name tag, Glenn, and embraced him. Like when you met Brielle, Glenn, did you feel like she wanted to know you, wanted to meet you, wanted to learn about you?
Definitely. She was very engaged, and it was I could tell it was a situation that I wanted to be involved in my conversation with her.
In this little chart we have up on the screen right now, who can we serve, who can we help, who do we care about? Share your passion, your beliefs with an emotional sincerity, and you will gain trust. That's exactly what Glenn just shared. So anyone else out there? Thank you. Lynette McKinley?
Lynette, do you have a question? Your hand's up.
Or did I hear Teresa right?
Oh, no, it was me.
Oh, Brielle, you want to say something else?
I do.
Yeah. Just real quick, I want to just speak to something that Glenn and I have worked very closely together, and I first want to congratulate him for his tremendous success. He won't brag on himself, but I'll brag on him. We are 2 July 1st effective dates, one employee account of 2,000 employees and another employee account of 800 employees. They're both Glenn's accounts. So huge congratulations to him. And the 2,000 employee account could not be more excited about offering our service. And that just tells you something. They've put it entirely separate enrollment. They're organizing for us to go to all their locations, set up meetings and everything. So it's going to be awesome. We're looking forward to that, but I should give a huge hats off to Glenn. But something that Glenn and I recently talked about, which is huge for people out there in the field, is the fact that Glenn put me in front of a contact, and Glenn really, I encouraged him to, every time you're in front of a contact, especially an HR person, because he has his background is 25 years in HR, or a company owner, you have so much credibility by sharing the fact that you spent 25 years in HR. You know where they sit. You know the issues they face. You know when it comes to making important that can be. So speaking to that, it creates instant trust and credibility, much like what Jill did for me by introducing me before I met Glenn. So that's huge for those people out there. I just wanted to speak to that real quick because that's been a learning lesson for both myself and Glenn.
That's great, Brielle, because that was a problem for you too. Brielle went out and maybe this everyone on the phone. How do I explain who I am, and why would you listen to what I have to say? And how do you say that with humbleness yet with strength? So that person, and when Brielle was going out there, I remember, Brielle, you had a financial planner that was at this company, and you were talking to him about your product, and he wasn't giving you really much time. And I said, Brielle, did you talk numbers? Did you explain your success? And you said, Mom, he kind of knows that. And I go, no, Brielle, no one knows the kind of success you're having or the kind of success people in Legal Shield are having unless you explain that to them. Use a quick story of a Scott Brooks or Brielle Hoffman or something. And so she felt like that was really weird, and she didn't know how to do that. And finally, she was with him. And I said, Brielle, he doesn't understand that Legal Shield is a real financial opportunity. And so she says to him, now, so-and-so, how much have you made you're the top producer in your financial planning office? And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, I've made $9,000 with my top month. And, I'm the number one guy in the whole office and everything. And she goes, well, to so-and-so, my 8th month in the business, I hit almost 11,000. And he goes, what? And it was like a game changer. Like, I don't think you realize, sometimes people have an idea in their mind, legal and identity stuff, you're making a couple hundred. I mean, they just think it's like, they don't realize the huge potential that it is. And so she had to, learn how to say some statements. And now she's phenomenal. She's very intentional. She has impact statements, is what I'm talking about. What are your impact statements? And that changed everything. And now her recruiting is off the roof. She's having super success. And so it all changed with a mindset first. First of all, the foundation was to serve, always to serve, just like we went through the webinar. Second is a mindset to ask, to learn, to discover about a person, and then be intentional in your kind of understanding to have an impact with them, so they realize they're talking with somebody. Like Glenn needs to share 25 years in HR. I came across the product that I feel is a very, a number one benefit to companies. I'd like to share it with you. With my experience in this industry, I really feel like this is a product that you would, being in your seat before, as an HR director, you would want to hear about this. That kind of thing, some sort of relational thing. John, and over here to John.
Couple of things, a couple of quick stories. And again, if you have a question or would like to interact with us, just raise your hand. Go to the dashboard and click that the hand sign, and we can come out to you. But a couple of things, a couple of just stories that have been very recent in respect to all of this. And Darcy, go back to that one slide too, where the 3 principles that we spoke of. But if you look at Brielle for a second, Brielle was attracted to Legal Shield because of what she saw her mom and dad doing over the years, and that was protecting families. She was attracted because of, we were creating lifestyles of freedom. We were giving people peace, protection. We were helping people prosper. She was attracted to that. She wasn't attracted to the bank account. She certainly became attracted to what the lifestyle was. Jill, who came on board with us, Jill lived in our home for almost 3 months. And what did we do? It was more about their needs. It was more about them. We provided shelter. We provided an environment for Jill while she worked all summer with another company selling door to door to make money while she was going to college. It was just building that relationship. I am the regional general manager over 11 states, and I had a kind of a tough situation yesterday with one of our NVPs who was going to another city where another MVP had been doing business for quite some time. And I was trying to coach. And if you look at our coaching model, coach and develop leaders. And this individual, needs work with his people skills. And bottom line is, he started getting excited going, I'm over the state. I'm the one over the state. And I'm like, Jim, you're not over the state. You served the state. Listen to your words. No wonder there's negative energy. No wonder people are a little bit turned off in respect to your approach. You're not over anything. from the front of the room. They serve. It's a servant's mindset. I said, listen, I want you to have a different approach with those folks that you're trying to work with on the other side of the state. I want you to first edify and recognize what it is that they do. You know, cast vision in respect to, you know, going to $1 billion in sales. Cast vision in respect to, you know, what all of us in Legal Shield are looking to do, and then ask how you can lend your resources, how you can lend your talents to those individuals on the other side of the state. Come along and serve. Don't come along and dictate. And I'll share one other quick story with you. Darcy and I were in Dunkin' Donuts, and this is just kind of how we go about things. You have your warm market, on the street cold market, and cold market. And Darcy jumped in the car, and I saw this elderly gal pull up in a really nice Jeep, and the top was down, and I just went over to her and I said, hey, man, I love your Jeep. You know, where did you have, you know, the custom work done? And we just started talking. She was 67 years old. Her name was Ethel. And she says, oh, it's my friend's Jeep, and we come down here a lot. And I kind of chuckled with her. I said, oh, sure, your friend. No, really, he's my friend. You're not going to believe what happened. And within about 2 minutes, she almost told me her whole life story. She's, you know, my husband passed away. We were married for 43 years. He and my friend were really good friends, and this individual saved me. She goes, I lost 80 pounds, you know, after my husband died. I wasn't expecting it. And he came along, and he just was the greatest person in the world. We do things together. We come down here on weekends, and, you know, I'll be glad to have him call you to tell you where. I mean, it was like, and Darcy's over in the car kind of laughing because I'm spending 3 minutes. I simply edified. I built a little rapport, and I asked a few questions. And as you look at that slide, you know, number one, it is about the people that we talk to. Simply ask questions. What do questions do? Questions increase our knowledge. And in number two, when we go to add massive value, the way we add massive value is through the questions we asked because of what it did for our knowledge. The more knowledge we have about a certain situation, a certain person, or the certain strengths or interests that that business owner or homemaker or factory worker or college student or downsized Merck pharmaceutical rep might have, the more knowledge we have, the more solutions. The more knowledge we have, the more solutions or assets we can bring in respect to what Legal Shield stands for. You know, so they're just so that, you know, Darcy and I were talking yesterday, we're kind of laughing that so many folks are making this business so difficult. This is not a difficult business. We're the number one answer to a $300 billion issue that's called identity theft. We're righting an injustice in North America where 90% of people don't have access. They need everything that you stand for, and I think what a great webinar to kind of ease our understanding of how to move forward and what else we need to do. So anybody else? Any other millionaire?
Bob, sir?
Bob Cohen, go ahead.
I love the topic, love the webinar today, and I so appreciate how our approach is just so professional. And I'll give a couple examples. I had a couple sit-downs this week. One gentleman does senior seminars. He's in the senior community, and we sat down, we had breakfast, and I just really, exactly what we're talking about here. I let him share what he does, how does he market, how does he get customers. He's heard of Legal Shield, you know, throughout the years, and he actually gave me a compliment. You know, thank you for being so professional. And we're just going to simply partner together. I'm not here to take him out of what he does. He's very good at what he does. I'm very good at what I do. And why not partner with people? And I love the slide here that Darcy had, you know, how to be fearless, because that's exactly what I've done for 16 years. You know, thanks for the coaching that, you know, this team provides, is we just simply are here to you know, ask people for their opinion, you know, ask for their help. How can we work together? And I think it was even mentioned, you know, most people make the mistake is they try to take people out of what they're doing and put them into, you know, our little world. Well, folks, there's a lot of people, believe it or not, they love what they're doing. And, you know, Darcy has that statement here about that we're not looking to make Legal Shield right for people, you know, the business side, but we are looking for the people who are right for Legal Shield. And if you have that philosophy, if you have that there at the center of your, you know, whenever you sit down with somebody, again, I think you're going to have a lot more fun with your Legal Shield business. I sat down with a criminal attorney. He's a young guy. He's probably been at it about 3 years. He's looking to get more business. He was absolutely intrigued about Legal Shield. Never heard of it. Completely understood the concept. And same thing, folks. We're going to work together. You know, I simply asked this attorney, I said, hey, Chris, what do you do with the clients that you can't serve, you can't protect? And he says, well, I normally, you know, I'll dish them off to a colleague. And I say, well, do you get compensated for that? And he goes, no. That one lady, I've sent her like 3 things, and she's never returned the favor. And I've absolutely got him intrigued now about our model. Again, working together. And what I did was I always have my Profiles of Success book. And what did I do? I showed this attorney Mr. Jerry Cohen's story, Mr. John Gardner's story, Mr. Chris Ward out of California. I showed just the bios, the backgrounds of other attorneys so that my guest could relate and see how other attorneys are very successful with Legal Shield, you know, earning 6 figures and such. And now we'll follow up and continue the relationship. So again, I just want to just share a couple of examples here. That was just, you know, that was just one day for me, you know, sitting down, seeing the people. Again, friends first. How can we work together? And then always bringing that Profiles of Success book because it's so good. In fact, now I started texting. I take a picture of someone's profile, and I'm literally like Mr. Hoffman and Mrs. Hoffman. I will actually take your picture, and I will attach that to a text and say invite somebody onto the Sunday conference call or invite somebody onto today's training. Again, folks, we're in the storytelling business. That's all we simply have to do is share the story, see the people, and it all works out. Back to you.
Bob, that is so totally awesome. Going back to 3 principles to live by, Bob lives by these. He is such an extraordinary leader. He has such a spirit of servanthood. I've seen him at trade shows, and I've seen him at a sit down, and his demeanor, his whole presence is so like a consultant. He's like there to serve that other person. He's got a great relationship with the person. And like the questions you asked, Bob, what do you do with clients you don't specialize in? Or what was that question to that attorney? What did you ask him?
Yeah, I just simply said, what do you do with the clients that you can't help? You know, because your specialty is criminal. What do you with the real estate person, the person that needs the will? What do you typically do with those people? And let them answer. And that's okay. Exactly. So now I'm talking his world.
That's exactly what these 1, 2, and 3 principles are. It's about their needs. So what Bob did is he asked a question to discover a potential, what I would call a gap in their business. And when you ask questions that open up a need that we can be the solution to, that's a wise and intentful, successful person in Legal Shield. In other words, he wasn't there just chit-chatting. Oh, great, you know, how do you like your business? Hey, that's great, and this and that. He asked a penetrating question that opened up a potential crack in an area where this individual is not able to help the masses of people, and maybe he would be interested in that. So that question was a bridging gap, was a strategic question that opened up a hole, possibly, for Bob to solve for this individual that realized, oh my gosh, there are a lot of people I can't help. And then now Bob is able to bridge Legal Shield into his potential practice. And so that is, first of all, what I call a strategic transitional question, what Bob asked. And then following that strategic question up with, now he's thinking, I never thought about that. And then he relates stories that are relevant. Again, 3 principles to live by. It's about adding massive value to their life. He shared all the profiles of successes stories that related to his world. It's all about him. And that is why Bob is effective at recruiting. So that excellent story. I love the texting profiles of success. I am going to definitely, and I'm going to hand it over to John to close.
And if you want to ramp this up about 100-fold, be sure you attend the Sunday breakout that we'll be doing in Las Vegas immediately following the international conference. So we'll be hosting a breakout, ShieldNation organization hosting a breakout Sunday morning from 9 to 1 o'clock. We'll have a celebration service from 8 to 9. You can see the details in the ShieldNation site. But, you know, if you like what's happening on these webinars, we'll be having round tables of 10, completely interactive, headed up by a leader. And we'll be really rolling out a 90-day plan with the new announcements and everything that's taking place. So you're invited, and that will be Sunday morning from 9 to 1, executive roundtables. That will be at the MGM. Details on the ShieldNation site. So one last thing that I will need, if you haven't had a chance, a book I would recommend are Talk Like Ted, The 9 Public Speaking Secrets of the World's Top Minds. And exactly what we spoke about today, page 39, Ron Barron, billionaire investor. It is our experience that the very best executives are the ones who are the most passionate about what they do. Let your light shine, guys. Be passionate and watch what happens. On that page 38, it talked about what Darcy was talking about and what the webinar kind of stood for here. If you want to help someone, shut up and listen. Amazing what comes from people when you ask questions and just listen to, you know, anything that they want to share. As they share, you get a chance to build knowledge and bring solutions and certainly resources of Legal Shield to them. Peace, protect, prosper, triple P. Be blessed, guys. Happy Mother's Day weekend to everybody. Great call. Look forward to talking to you soon, and let your organization know if they couldn't join the webinar that it is recorded and will be archived sometime later today. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.